Welcome back to Sacred Whispers, where we speak truth, healing, and spiritual wisdom. I'm your host, Madam C, and I'm here with the lovely poetic Empress. A round of applause,
Hey.
ladies and gentlemen. I have the best co-host, period. And today we're going to be diving deep into a topic that's often misunderstood. We're going to be talking about the real origin and nature of hoodoo. Okay? So
Mhm.
y'all go ahead, like I said, grab your tea, take a deep breath, and we're just going to make it do what it do.
Oh
Let's get
yeah.
into it, sis.
So let's hit the beginning of it, just a brief, very brief overview of that part. 15th, 19th century, hoodoo emerged in the American South, mainly the Carolinas, North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, Mississippi, and at some point it hit New Orleans. Okay. You had Haitian immigrants and Irish immigrants that flooded into New Orleans. So that added some different components to it. But hoodoo came with the enslaved Africans. Then it is a blended spiritual system. So when you think of Africa, you're thinking of Akan, Yoruba, Congo, Fon. You're thinking of all those different parts, and then so much more. That also blended with the Native Americans that were here, the indigenous people that were in America. Think about it. When you leave your homeland, we
Mm-hmm.
don't have the same plants and herbs and things,
Yep.
medicinal or magical uses on this continent that we do on other continents necessarily, unless it's been imported like now. So they had to relearn how to use what they had that was here. They also blended in with European folk magic like root,
Mm-hmm.
Appalachian work. So there's that. But the whole purpose of it was for their survival, was for justice, was for healing and resistance. That is why hoodoo came about. Now, sis, me and you talk about this a lot. Tell everybody what the difference between hoodoo, voodoo, and witchcraft is, because they are
Okay.
not one and the same.
Yeah, and I do want to say, like, touch on what you were saying, because you got to understand also, we were stripped of everything, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
everything. And also, during those times, what better way to keep people from knowing who they are is to kill off the older generation, right? So once they kill off the older generation, you got the young mamas and the kids. They only gonna know what they've been taught by their slave master, right? So keep that in mind, because y'all be going crazy when it comes to hoodoo. But
And when you
anyway,
think about that too, though, one little small, well, not small, it's major, but a lot of those that I mentioned, you have to think they had different dialect. So they
mm-hmm,
would just mix you up, take you from
yep,
people that you spoke the same language with. But it
mm-hmm,
speaks to our resilience and our ability to adapt because
that's right,
we formed new language. We
yep,
picked up on their language. We figured out how to communicate with one another. And then, boom, now we got these different dialects. That's where you come up with the French influence and
mm-hmm,
language and everything.
yep.
We adapt. We are highly intelligent.
What? Come on, sis, highly.
Highly.
Um, and like we were saying though, hoodoo, voodoo, and witchcraft is not the same because a lot of people swear hoodoo and voodoo is the same thing, voodoo, however it's originally said. But I want to be clear on this. Hoodoo is a folk practice, right? Is working with God or whoever your source, whoever you choose, your ancestors in the earth. Okay, that's it. Voodoo is a religion. Okay, just like Christianity, whatever is a religion, people, and it's a religion, and their religion is not the money. Okay, just like hoodoo is not the money. Don't think everything is the money. Witchcraft can mean a lot of stuff depending on its culture. Okay, but it's not automatically led to African spirituality. I want y'all to be clear because a lot of people who do hoodoo, they don't consider themselves witches at all. They consider themselves healers and seers and things like that. Um,
Which you can actually be more than one. You don't have to
exactly.
fit yourself
Mm-hmm.
into one box.
Yep. They
You
were
can be
root
a witch.
workers.
You can be a herbal witch, a green witch,
Yep.
some other witch. You can do chaos magic. You can do
Yep.
whatever. You can also be a root worker. You can be a seer and a
Mm-hmm.
medium because some of those things are different. They ain't all the same. So
Yep.
you can be more than one thing.
Yep. Because each path has its own roots and its own sacred, rhythm, right? And I wish people would stop labeling everything outside of Christianity as evil because it's not, right? There's something we didn't have a choice but to do hoodoo because everything else, like we said in the beginning, it was taken away. So we had to adapt and go with the flow. And that's how, like we said, that's how hoodoo came about. Um, and also, sis, I want to say this because I remember I saying it to you. When y'all hear the word root worker, stop being scared. Or if you do roots, let me tell you, sis, down here in the South, if you mention the word root worker, boy, people get, oh, now I don't play with that. That's evil. She do roots. Let me tell you something. The term root worker, literally all it means is you working with the plants, y'all. You working with the
Hmm.
roots, the herbs, and you using all these to shift your energy and to manifest change. That's it. That's
And
what
you're
it
working with roots and herbs to heal.
Yes.
So I was gonna wait to hit that part of it, but I was reading. Y'all gonna find out I'm a bookworm. I love books. Um, I was reading in a book, and it said, yeah, I wrote that passage down just because it spoke to me. A 1749 law passed by the General Assembly of South Carolina. It was passed, and it prohibited slaves under threat of death from employment by physicians or apothecaries,
Mm-hmm.
expressly so that slaves could not concoct poisons or administer medicines of any kind. Baby, they was scared of us.
Mm-hmm.
So that means we still had to operate
Yep.
covertly to be able to heal
Mm-hmm.
ourselves. But since I
Mm-hmm.
asked you earlier, if we was so dangerous and deadly with roots and everything else, they still trusted us to raise their kids and be wet
Exactly.
nurses. They trusted us to cook their food. They trusted us
Mm-hmm.
to wash their clothes. They trusted us to tend their crops. They trusted us to heal them when they were sick. So
Mm-hmm.
if we were, supposed to be so dangerous,
Exactly. And let me tell you, sis, and like I said, I still believe that, of course, they're not going to mention certain stuff in history, but come on. You don't think some of them people, our ancestors poisoned some of them people? I don't care what nobody say. I don't care. You don't think that happened? They ain't gonna mention it, but come on,
it did.
it happened. They're not gonna say
It
it.
happened.
They're not gonna say
It,
it.
it,
But
it was
then
part of it.
also at the same time, some of them plantations were so crazy. Some of them people were beaten so bad they probably were scared to even attempt to do something against them. Because you always got that one or two slaves,
That's gonna tell.
that will snitch on the other slave
That's
and
like I
tell the
told you about
master.
that situation with Gullah Jack and Denmark Vesey. When they
Mm-hmm.
had that slave revolt planned, and Gullah Jack, who he was a Bakongo prisoner of war, and he was sold into slavery in Zanzibar. He was born at a time that they don't have documented. But he did die in 1822, unfortunately. He was brought to Charleston, South Carolina, and purchased by Paul Pritchard. He was known to be a powerful root worker, and he dealt with talismans. That was like his specialty. Okay, he did a lot of stuff. During that revolt, he gave them crab claws. Okay, but he told any slaves that would betray them that he would put a root on them.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they did not listen. They still went back and snitched. And so the revolt was stopped. And any of the planners, organizers of that were hung, including Gullah Jack.
And I'm telling you, sis, like I said, that comes back. It comes back to today's time. Black people, they do the same shit. I don't know if I'm I'm sorry, but
They
they do the
do.
same thing. Like they go tell master, oh, just such and such doing such and such, or oh,
Mhm.
she getting too far out there, or oh, she being known that they try to mess this up. It's subconsciously programmed.
Or go tell them, even in today's time, you got that coworker that's messy and nosy. They
Mm-hmm.
trying to figure out what your personal life is so that they can go and snitch on you. They trying to tell them, oh, she took 5 extra minutes at lunch, or oh, she wasn't at her desk. Trust me, I've been
Mm-hmm.
through that. And it's like, what are you gaining? Because you're not getting a bigger paycheck. So
Exactly.
what are you gaining?
All that
But you
shit
know, that
started back
crab in the
from
bucket
slavery.
mentality,
Yep.
it's there.
Yep.
Um,
And then,
leading.
they did it. Like that's how they separated us. You had the house slaves and the field slaves. If the field slaves get out of line, the house slaves gonna snitch. And that's why
Mhm.
you got this black person don't like that black person, or you got team dark skin versus team light skin. Let's talk about it. All that shit is conditioned. It's
Mm-hmm.
programmed from way back in slavery.
And the thing about light skin versus dark skin, that was also the mindset that anything that was close enough to the likeness of white was superior.
Mm-hmm.
So lighter black people thought, oh, well, I'm almost there, and it was like, no,
Exactly.
baby, because they still told you one drop of blood made you black, regardless.
Exactly. Insist. Don't get hot and mighty because you like skin, because look how you came about through rape, torture. Come on now, like that's it is what it is.
Separation of families. You came about because of hatred. You came about because of greed, if that's the
Mm-hmm.
way you want to look at it. And then that lineage just kept rolling.
Mm-hmm.
So we got to stop with the colorism. But let's
Please
get back on
stop.
topic.
I'm over. It's 2025. Come on, y'all. Let's
We got to
get
get
away.
over that
Let's
because
get over.
every
Yeah.
every shade of brown and black is beautiful.
Yes.
But so there's some things in culture, in a lineage that are of notable mention. The Congo cosmogram or Yoa cross, and that's the foundation for crossroads magic, ancestor veneration, and circle work.
Mm-hmm.
Then with Akan and Yoruba traditions, we have the concepts of a Shay, which is the power of life force. So whenever you see people on Facebook and they
Mm-hmm.
want to, be woke, for some of these folks, half the time they don't know where the history of it comes from. But they, oh, and say this if you agree, a Shay. And it's like, okay, do you even know what you're saying? Or are you just responding? Because it ain't like a hey, amen. It's not the same thing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But that is about ancestral reverence as well. Then you have indigenous in the European exchange. Again, we mentioned that the herbs, the
Mm-hmm.
plants, the minerals that we had to adapt.
Yep.
We don't have the same dirt and other stuff and
But
plants
see, you
and
know what's so great
things.
about us is that we were still able to adapt and make shit happen. You hear me?
We made that shit happen.
We made it happen. Like through the worst circumstances.
My little
We
silly
still
self
made it
just
happen.
imagined that little man when he doing a little sprinkle me.
Right.
He sprinkled some shit on that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But
But
no,
it's
we went through it. We did. We survived.
mm-hmm.
That's why we're here. Christian influences. We utilize the Psalms in Hoodoo.
Yep.
Um, and we utilize candle work and different biblical verses. We utilize that as prayer. We utilize it in some sense how some people relate to speaking incantations.
Mm-hmm.
you know where a lot of people say, the magical words and terms. Words are power, so
Mm-hmm.
you speak the correct words for the correct action to get the correct result.
Exactly. And let me tell you, for most people, the Bible is a foundational tool in hoodoo. Now, some of us, you have some who don't no longer use the Bible once they went back and studied whatever. They still practice hoodoo, but they don't use the Bible anymore. That's fine too. But the Bible has always been a foundational tool in hoodoo only because we had to adapt to it. We had to hide our real practices in that, right? So our ancestors did not just use it as religion, but as a book of power, justice, deliverance, all of that. Because once again, we were stripped from everything, our languages, traditions, spiritual system, what we was already doing. And the Bible became one of those sacred texts that we was allowed to have access to. Because think about it. They don't want you to read, but they'll give you the Bible. Think
Mm-hmm.
about that. We couldn't read books and
Also,
stuff, but they gave us the Bible. So we just
they
had to
don't
make
want us
it.
to worship our deities and
Mm-hmm.
spirits, but they want you to worship Saint James,
Mm-hmm.
Archangel Michael, Mother Mary. There's some other saints in there that I'm not familiar with. I'm not gonna lie. That part of
Mm-hmm.
it, I kind of backed up from it. Plus, I was never Catholic, so even then, some of those
Right.
saints didn't resonate with me. But the thing that I do know, a lot of times when you say, well, they were worshiping them, yeah, they had no choice. But a lot of times
Right.
the statues that were
Mm-hmm.
on their altars,
Mm-hmm.
they were hollow.
Yep.
And inside those statues, they still
Talk about
placed
it.
herbs and roots and stones and
Yes.
dirt or
Mm-hmm.
tobacco or whatever they needed to place in there to blend and conceal
Yep.
their cultural practice. They still maintained it. That
Yep.
is how we have a lot
We
of
had
it
to
today.
hide it. Yeah, we had to hide it. So, and like I was saying, so with the Bible, they didn't just read it; they worked it, right? So that's why a lot of people always talk about the hidden power of songs. That's a bit one in Hoodoo, because it has a lot of spiritual laws within the system that aligns with like the same laws of nature, right? Well, within scripture. And Africans, we already connected with nature, right? So we already had that part of spirituality. So when they prayed Psalm 23, they just weren't saying the words. It was like a spell of protection and peace. So I mean, like I said, this is what we had to work to. That's all we had basically. And today we still have practitioners who use the Bible, and it's like a book of conjure, right?
Hmm.
And I want to say this: they don't use the whole Bible; they only use certain stuff of the Bible that they can work with. For example, like how we always say, life and death is in the power of the tongue. We all know that's true, right? So we speak words as a tool to move energy, shift circumstances. We all know that. So whether you using the Bible to read Psalms 91, a lot of people do that for protection, or when you doing your flow washes, you reciting Psalms, Psalms 51, all of that is just what we had to work with, and we made it do. Because baby, you give me a book of songs and some word, I'm making it do. I'm shifting shit. You hear me? Stop playing with me. But I just want y'all to know it's not separate and it is separate, if that makes sense.
It
Right?
does.
It's not separate and it is separate. So, just like what they say, what the devil meant for bad, well, what God meant for good, the devil meant it for bad. Like they gave us that. What was meant for bad, we flipped it. So hey, that's why we
We
use
did
that.
everything, whether it was religious practice, spiritual, whether it was food, clothing, whatever was
Mm-hmm.
meant to be the bad or the scraps, we turned it into something else. We elevated
Mm-hmm.
with it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so when you think about the different regions that I had mentioned earlier, so you've got the Carolinas, Low Country, or that
Mm-hmm.
Gullah Geechee origin, and Georgia, and they did a lot of herbal root work. They did a lot of ancestor waters. They did, sea-based
Mm-hmm.
rituals because that's that water area. Then you move into the Mississippi Delta, which my family is very much Mississippi Delta.
Mm-hmm.
Um, candle burning, dirt magic, blues culture for hoodoo, the music. A lot of times people misunderstood the things that blues singers put in that music, but
Yeah.
they
Mm-hmm.
weren't playing no games. They was talking
Yeah.
about that actual spiritual belief and what
It
it meant
was.
for them,
Yep.
you know? A lot of people who were outsiders, they just took it as some catchy words, but no, that's them still sending messages with music like
Exactly.
we've always done. But
Mm-hmm.
sis, you looked at me. I saw your eye twitch with what I said, dirt magic.
It just always make me think about you because you in this dirt, like sis will make it look. If she need it, she gonna go get some dirt from somewhere, baby. It can be,
I
look, y'all, it can be rain, snow, sleet, or hail.
I was digging around in the graveyard for dirt. And yes, before you do that, please know the spirit that you are taking from their grave,
Exactly.
leave an offering for them and say thank you and follow proper protocol for entering and exiting the cemetery. But yes, I feel like the universe cloaked me that day in pouring down rain so that nobody else would see what I was out there doing, because it ain't the same as it was in old times.
It's
So,
not. It's not.
folks tend to look at you funny now,
Mm-mm,
but I was out there with my little spoon and my jar getting what I needed, and I had
mm-mm.
permission from the individuals. So, let's just be real. They walk with me. That's all I'm gonna say about that.
Exactly.
Quit
Exactly.
twitching your eye at me, sis, because I need
And
some
no,
bank dirt
I'm
next.
not, sis.
I
I'm
need
not.
some
But
bank dirt next.
I'm not. But y'all. Let me tell you something. If you get wet from me, and it's gonna require some dirt, I'm seeing somewhere else because maybe I'm not gonna go to I'm sorry,
Unless they
but
source it themselves.
I know, but still, like, honestly, let's talk about though, because in hoodoo, dirt just ain't dirt, y'all. It's like it's a living ingredient for real. So, um, because if we think about it, dirt has been around since forever, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's dirt, so it holds energy. So that's why they say when you're trying to do money work, you're gonna go to the bank, get you some dirt from the bank. Um, and also back to what we were saying, our ancestors understood that the earth remembers everything. So that's why they work with dirt as well. And now since this
Mm-hmm.
you and your graveyard, tell them what they use graveyard dirt for.
For me, there's multiple things, but I use it mainly for protection because of the particular individuals whose dirt I had their permission through that communication
Mm-hmm.
to obtain. Um, they walk with me daily. So for
Right.
me, that is the same as if I'm laying wards,
Yeah.
that is what I use. If
Right.
I'm using it mojo bag, any of that.
Yeah.
I can use that for me. So if someone says, "Oh, I need something," I will not use that for them because that is connected deeply to me.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
And
if it
also.
requires dirt, I'm going to either suggest you get it from a
Mm-hmm.
generic
Right.
source, so to speak,
But
not
let
from
me
a
say this,
particular
sis.
grave, but if you do it yourself, source it correctly,
Right.
communicate with spirit, have permission,
Right.
please know who you getting it from. Don't just go out there and grab anybody's dirt.
Mm-mm. I do not recommend buying graveyard dirt offline. Period. I don't care who it is. I'm sorry, because you have to
Baby,
go
you
through
getting
certain
some dirt out of
protocols.
somebody's vacuum cleaner.
Exactly. You have to go through certain protocols to get the dirt, for one. And you no, don't buy no dirt online. And half the time, it's probably ain't even real. Okay.
And then
Um.
if it's like judicial work, court work, you
Mhm.
want it from a judge that was
Yep.
good and fair. So you don't
Exactly.
want it from somebody who was gonna send your flag behind the jail just because. You,
Exactly.
you you want it from someone who was going to work with you and be fair.
Hmm.
If it's medical, you want it from
Hmm.
someone who was, a renowned or good doctor, or it's
Right.
certain
If
protocol and rules to
exactly.
it.
But now also, like, just if you know those people as well too, like, because a lot of people like don't know where this doctor such and such was buried. So in that case, y'all, you can get some dirt from a hospital. Make sure it's a good hospital. I already mentioned bank dirt. You can get courthouse dirt too, right? Make sure it's if so, try to make sure it's a place where you see them being fair. Okay.
Yes.
Um, what else? Oh, church dirt. Like if like I said, it's all blended in. But if you want like some blessings and stuff, you can always go to the church and get dirt from there as well. So working with dirt is really all about connection and respect.
And it strengthens the
You're gonna,
working.
you're gonna always ask permission. You're gonna state your purpose and leave an offering. Okay, this is how you form a
Mm-hmm.
relationship with the spirit and the land. So keep that in mind, because a lot of y'all young baby witches, y'all just take. Y'all don't know the protocol. That's why stuff don't be going as how it should.
It
And
go
I'm not here to
left.
bash it, but I'm just trying to, yeah.
It go
But
left.
that's why we say that's why we say we are root workers. Because we working with roots
Mm-hmm.
and dirts and all of that. Okay, so
And we've already mentioned New Orleans was big for the crossroads of hoodoo and voodoo, and
mm-hmm,
then Catholic influence with the saints and petition work. That's where you're going to see a lot of that. It was strong
mm-hmm.
here, you know. Um,
Oh, sis, when you said that Catholic, it just made me think of something. Because sis, let's talk about the double standards. Can
okay,
we? Y'all know I'm with the mess today. Let's
okay.
talk about it because I find it interesting that when the Catholics light their candles to the saint, nobody call it witchcraft, right? Or like we talked about the other day, sis, we walk into a nail shop and we see their money also with their fruits and stuff, Buddha up there, the little lucky cat.
You better say it.
Nobody bats an eye, do they? But
Mm-mm.
let a black person light a candle, pour water for their ancestors and burn sage. All of a sudden, it's demonic. I'm so
But
sick
I
of
have
that.
my altar and I feed my ancestors often. They get black coffee, they get whiskey, they get water. If they come to me and they say they want something else, they asked me for bubble gum one day and was very specific. They wanted red gum balls, and I couldn't understand what the purpose of
Exactly.
that was, but I said, okay, I went and found them.
Exactly. Because you know what? My grandma, she loved hot Cheetos. So she wanted some hot Cheetos one day. Well, not hot Cheetos, but regular Cheetos. But I went and got her some Cheetos. And then, some days when you just cook certain stuff, and you be like, oh, my grandma love this. Baby, you go sit it out there. It's fine. But it's just an example of how deep the stigma runs. Because we need to remember that reclaiming your roots, y'all, it ain't about going against nobody. It ain't about rebellion, but it's about remembering. Because remember in our first podcast, I said once I remembered or once I found out what we was doing before, it was a wrap. So you're not calling in darkness. I want to make that clear because y'all, I just hate that y'all so afraid. Like when people don't know, so they're so afraid. You're not calling on darkness. You're calling on protection and divine light. Okay.
I had people when I started to grow in my path. The first thing that was said, "Ooh, I need you to be careful with that. You better be
Mm-hmm.
careful. Don't fool too much with that stuff." You know what I'm saying? And I was like, "That stuff?
Mm-hmm.
Being careful. What are you scared of? If
Right.
that's something that's not your path, then say that. But don't tell me what not to do."
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
I have been the happiest
Yeah.
since I started on my path instead of trying to
Let's talk
fit
about it.
into the mold that other people wanted me to fit into.
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about how healing it is to finally connect with your path and walk in your purpose. Like it's the best feeling ever, y'all. I kid you not. And I'm gonna say this: once you wake up and begin the process, it's no going back. So make sure it's something you want to do. And if you call, you're gonna end up doing it regardless. It is
Hmm.
what it is.
You can run from it all you want,
Mm-hmm.
but at some point you're going to have to stop running.
Mm-hmm.
And there's so many folks that then came before you. Like when you look at
Yep.
people, there are people such as Dr. Buzzard,
Oh yeah.
well-known Greek doctor, known for court cases and justice work, but his actual real name was Stephen Robinson.
Mm-hmm.
And he was born around 1860, so prior to the end of slavery. But he died in 1947. He was from St. Helena Island, South Carolina. And since you said the day we talked about it, he was known for chewing the root. You
Mm-hmm.
smiled. You was like, I love that. I love that.
Mm-hmm.
And that was in court. And a lot of times they wanted to stop him, like the sheriffs in them in that area. They tried
Mm-hmm.
so many
So
different
baby, let me tell
ways to
you,
stop him because he was
mm,
getting people off. Okay.
tell you, get you a chewing John root while you go while you go into court. When you get on the court steps, spit it out. Baby, you're gonna win that court case. You're gonna win. You're gonna win. I kid you not. High John, chewing John, Psalms 35. When you're doing court work every time. That's all I use every time, and every person gets off.
Baby, my son went to court for some nonsense because we had some bad stuff happening with a particular cop. He was profiling, and my son got caught up with that because my child don't do none of that craziness.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I sent that boy to court with High John the Conqueror in his
Mm-hmm.
shoe, and it
Mm-hmm.
had a psalm wrapped around it, and he had to wear it. He wore it every time he went to court,
Mm-hmm. Stop playing. Yeah,
and
that's
that and they got dropped
the power of working on roots that y'all so scared of.
and praying.
Yeah.
And the reason that we had to do that, like mentioned before, is because of the imbalances in the justice
Mm-hmm.
system. That system was
Mm-hmm.
not created for us. That was a system from
Mm-hmm.
slavery that was still another extension of slavery to figure out
Mm-hmm.
how to put us in jail and still get free work. So
Yep.
when we look at that, we had to work on it ourselves because we couldn't trust lawyers. Half the time we couldn't
Mm-hmm.
afford lawyers.
Nope.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes we still can't, you know?
Hell no. And
It,
that's why I tell
it's
look,
for our
all the
survival,
thugs.
period.
Look, all the thugs come see me. Oh, okay, I'm gonna be for real. But it's for
Okay,
real
look
though.
out the window on that one.
For
Y'all
real
can't see
though.
my
But no,
window.
I'm gonna stop playing. But
You ain't playing, you for real though.
I'm serious. I'm playing, but I'm for real at the same time. Now, if you come see me, come direct. Because if it's something, I'm gonna tell you one thing about me. If it's something you guilty of, don't come to me.
Mm-mm, at
Don't
all.
come to me. But if you feel like you getting railroaded or they trying to just mess you up or the charge is just too much, come to me.
Come see sis. Trying to
Yeah.
tell you. So now we gonna move down that line. Another well-known individual, but a lot of people who are new to it don't know her name. Caroline. If you see her sometimes in certain tarot decks, she'll be
Mm-hmm.
one of the major arcane. But some people know her as Carolyn Dye. She was born 1843, died 1918. This woman, baby, I love her. Okay, she embodies power, strength, ingenuity. She was born into slavery in South Carolina. There go that place again.
Yep.
A lot of my family came through them ports.
Mm-hmm.
Her and her family at some point relocated to Arkansas, and so after slavery, she got married and she began cartomancy.
Yep.
Um, she was known for having psychic gifts early in her childhood. And this woman, she was a landowner and an
Mm-hmm.
entrepreneur. She was selling plates and stuff. She was root work. She was
This did
the
not
parts,
play.
everything.
This did not play. This was a jack of all trades.
And she had
Okay.
a diverse clientele.
Yes.
She had black folks, white folks, everybody was
Mm-hmm.
coming to see Carolyn die.
And that's why I tell y'all, I do not put myself in a box, baby. If you led to come see me, come see me. I don't care if you're blue. You can be green. Okay. Like, come see me because it's not about that. Because at the end of the day, we are all human beings, we're all energetic beings, and we all need some kind of work. So this just is what it is. Um, but like at the end of the day, we work with divine energy. Just plain and simple. We and I'm gonna make this clear again. We ain't working with no devil. We don't work. We don't worship the devil. We don't call on the devil. And honestly, I believe that's just something. When it comes to the devil and stuff, I just think that's all something made up. And a lot of people like to blame stuff on the devil because once again, you don't want to be held accountable for your own actions. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And we touched on that
Mm-hmm.
some sis. We talked about accountability. You have to be accountable for your own actions. Stop putting everything on Satan. Because if he is real,
Mm-hmm.
guess what? That man minding his business. He ain't doing that. He ain't even in the Bible. He wasn't really doing that. So can we give him a break, please?
Okay.
Okay?
And the thing is, as a root worker, a practitioner, any of that, your work reflects your character. Just like
Exactly.
sis told you, if you know you guilty, don't come to her because she's not going to do that for you
Mm-mm.
because that reflects on her.
Exactly.
Energy is in those workings and it
Mm-hmm.
can rebound back on the root worker. It can rebound back on you. It can look, some stuff can happen.
Oh, sis, you know what's so crazy though? Because some people who do, don't believe that. They just think, oh, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. They think you can do whatever and you're not
No,
gonna have no repercussions. Baby, that's not even that don't even work in the law of the universe, baby. It's a repercussion for everything, baby.
everything
Trust
is
me.
about balance.
Yes. Yin and yang. Come on now.
Every action
Y'all,
has a reaction.
please cut that out. It's always a repercussion because you know why? Because it's too many practitioners who are broke, who have no relationships, who are on the streets. Mm-hmm. And why do you think that is?
Karma's a bitch. Oh, I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm. Every action has a reaction, like you said. So you
And
just
then it's also a thing about when you're not a practitioner, but you're
mm-hmm,
looking for someone to do that work.
mm-hmm.
Energy has to be reciprocal. Please stop thinking folks gonna do stuff for free. If it's important to you, it should be important enough for you to spend your money on it. Now that does
Guess
not
what?
mean that don't mean let somebody take you to the cleaners and take all your money and you be on the streets fooling with them because you got some people that are some charlatans, they some con artists, and they will take you for
Mm-hmm.
everything you got. What was you telling me, sis? When they come up with, well, now you need this now. Well, now we
Oh
need
yeah,
some extra
anytime
this.
you're
Well,
going
we
to
need some more
someone,
money.
right? Anytime you're going to someone and they keep switching this stuff up, like you don't pay them for this work, but now they want you to add something else. That's a red flag. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
that's a red flag. And I try my best not to do that in my practice. Only if I notice something, I'll let it be known. But no, you don't. That's a red flag. And a lot of practitioners do that. And I'm not even trying to. We make this clear. I'm not trying to bash no practitioners or none of that. I just want y'all who are new on this journey to just be aware of certain stuff, like to look out for
Mm-hmm.
certain stuff. And a lot of times, we're not gonna inbox you for no readings and stuff either. So let's make that clear. Y'all still falling for the okie doke. Come on, we've been saying this for 10 years. Nobody gonna inbox you like this. Now,
Mm-mm.
I will say if I'm led, if I see somebody and I'm led, I might. It just really all depends. But I'm not finna flood up nobody inbox. No, no. We don't work like that.
Mm-mm. Most times, those individuals live their own life and they're very much quiet about what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want to be bothered. And so they will bypass whatever it is and mind their
Yep.
business.
Mm-hmm.
That ain't got nothing to do with me. Now, if you come to me and say, hey, I don't know what to do, now that is another
Exactly.
thing to look at because know your lane. When I say know your lane, if it's a situation that you can
Mm-hmm.
handle it then. But if it's something that you not too well versed on or you still kind of new to it, know when to refer out and call somebody else.
Exactly. And let me tell you something.
Uncrossing, unhexing,
Mm-hmm.
attachments, unexplained illnesses like your hair falling out and everything.
Mm-hmm. Get
That
your
takes some work
practitioner.
as root worker.
Mm-hmm. And go to someone you can trust. That's why we always stress and use discernment. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Use discernment.
Now,
Okay.
now,
And
sis, I gotta backtrack for a second because you remember that moment we were talking about not too long ago. Another figure in Hoodoo is Dr. Grant, but there's not a lot on him. But
mm-hmm.
in the 1930s, well-known author and practitioner Zora Neale Hurston, she
Mm-hmm.
interviewed him, and he was one of those old school practitioners. He wanted
Mm-hmm.
to source his
Mm-hmm.
own herbs and things. He did not want to order from catalogs, although now we do order because,
Exactly.
like I said, we in a bunch of concrete around us. They done tore down trees, forests, fields,
So
everything.
we in different times.
We're in different times. But he said some things that were very profound to me. He said to believe in one's limitless power.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to believe in what you're doing. If you don't, it's going to fall flat.
Exactly.
Petition the spirits unequal to man.
Mm-hmm.
Know more than one way to get a job done.
Mm-hmm.
And acknowledge that no two people or jobs are alike. What works for
Mm-hmm.
one may not work for the next. That is practitioners as
Yes.
well as clients.
Yes. 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 And that's why it is important to do trial and error. Okay. When I say trial and error, let's say you want to do what's easy. Let's say you need a job, right?
Okay.
You let's say you don't look online and you don't found this recipe, right?
Mm-hmm.
So everybody go online. You try that recipe and nothing is happening. So let's say you meditate and in spirit give you another recipe, right? Similar to maybe it's probably similar to what you found online, but some of the ingredients are different. And you switch it up, and guess what? Bam, you get results because everything do not work the same for everybody. And like I said, everything is also energetic, and we are energetic being as well. So some herbs and stuff that may work for you don't give me no results, right? But some herbs that
Mm-hmm.
work for me may give you results. So you have to just try things out and see. Like some spiritual baths as well. Y'all know I'm heavy on spiritual baths. But some don't work for everybody. It just depends. You also have to know exactly what the person is going through. Like you have to take all that into consideration. Just can't hand them a
Mm-hmm.
bath because it worked for you. Find out exactly what they're going through. Also, a pendulum. If you if you start working with a pendulum, you can use that as well. So like, should I use these herbs for her or that herbs or whatever? Like just trial and error, y'all. Trial and error. But don't when I say trial and error, don't start off with no crazy stuff now. Start off small, like I said, job spells or maybe like a little extra money here and there. Don't start off doing no heads removing and
Ma'am,
stuff. Don't
I know
don't
you
play
didn't
with me
just say no jar spell.
as job spells. I mean,
Oh, I thought you said jar. I was gonna say, ma'am,
sis, don't get me started on jar spells. You know I said I'm sick of
can we just retire the jars for a while,
I
y'all?
love
At least
everybody,
for a
but
while.
and I love everybody. But please give the jars a break. Okay,
Them jars is
there's
mad at y'all for
alternatives.
half the stuff y'all putting in it, and you do know jar spells can be tampered with and undone. Because the minute
Mhm.
somebody opens it, it's a wrap. Same thing for a mojo bag. Somebody touch your mojo bag, just go on and bury it, burn it, do something, and start over.
This is what I'm
Because
talking
no.
about. Mojo bags too. Like, oh, and this let's talk about it because if you new and you want to start out doing something, a mojo bag is a nice little thing you can start doing,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Get you some
So,
good red flannel.
hmm
Get you some of that good red flannel. And like I said, you can't let everybody touch it and see it. And most times what goes in them, herbs, minerals, stones, personal things, hair, handwriting, photos.
yep.
Some people do nail clippings,
hmm
prayers, psalms, or petition paper. And don't judge me, y'all. I have a whole pack of parchment paper just because I'm that's me.
Also, listen, it depends on what mojo bag you're trying to do as well.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so keep that in mind. Also, when you get your mojo bag, like I was telling sis, that's yours, baby. Keep it like connect to it, right? Just like when we first get tarot cards, we have to connect to them. We kind of have to get to know them. Do the same with your mojo bag. You have to feed your mojo bag. You have to. It's yours, right? So you have to show it care because at the end of the day, it's a spirit. It's a living spirit.
Now
And
tell them how
why?
to feed it, sis. Tell them how to
Why
feed it.
it's a living spirit? Because we put stuff in it. We put herbs in it. You blow life into it, right? You bring that bag to life. You feed it. But we said it's smoke blends. I use
Hmm.
oil. I dab oil on mine, baby. I feed mine whenever I feel like it. Some people say do it once a week. Some people say once a month. Y'all, when it comes to me, I'm not really a traditional person. I go by what I'm told at the time, right? So I can feed mine every day, or I might feed mine every 2 months. It just really depends. So it depends
Hmm.
on you. So keep that in mind. But mojo bags
Depends
are
on
fun.
you.
Maybe we should
Depends on
have
what you got going on,
maybe
what's
we should
going on
have like a
around you.
mojo bag workshop, sis.
Ooh,
Like
that would be
that'll be
nice.
nice, right? It'll be nice
I
to
ain't
do
gonna
some
lie.
kind of
I went and bought a
workshop.
whole yard of red flannel today. They only
Y'all,
sell
sis do
about
not
a
be playing.
yard,
And let
okay?
me tell y'all something. Sis don't be playing with her work, okay? And when I tell y'all her candles and everything are top notch, stop playing with her. Stop playing with her and go follow her page. And I'm telling y'all this. Stop playing. Because this candle here, this is the throat chakra candle. Baby, if I'm doing 101, I'm gonna like this. It makes things flow so good. And I'm doing readings and stuff. I like that with my third, no, the crown chakra candle she gave me. It's just amazing. I
And you
kid you
know,
not.
I done revamped them as
Oh yeah,
2.0 line
these she
now.
don't do that one, so they ain't like this no more. They made with different stuff, but still, I love them.
I upgraded them. The crystals I will embed in them, but please, 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 everybody, if you do come through meditate with sense, please take your crystals out your candles before burning them so that you can have an even burn pool and you'll be able to use your crystals for later, for meditation or workings.
Yeah,
Because
don't be like me, 'cause baby, I burn mine with the crystals in it like a fool, honey. Don't.
which means after it's done, then you gotta dig it out of the wax to
I
try to
done
get
already dug it out, but still, hey, I like getting a little dirty, so hey, it is what it is.
where did I get her from?
But take them out, y'all. Take the crystals out. But yeah, let me tell y'all something. If you just not starting this journey, let me tell you, this is what I recommend. Get into meditation right away. That's the first step. Get into meditation right away. Okay, that's very important. Um, Once you get that down pat, start doing research on herbs. That's the key. Herbs to me is the whole foundation. Y'all, I know I love working with herbs. Once you
Mm-hmm.
learn the healing properties of herb and the magical properties of herbs, you can pretty much do anything. You can create pretty much so much, y'all. Because at the end of the day, creating your own stuff always work best. Okay, because you know what you put into it, and you know what works for you. Okay. What else? Meditation, journaling. Okay, got to do that shadow work, and I know a lot of people don't like it. I don't like it because shadow work brings out, old feelings you try to repress, you don't want to remember, but it is so needed, y'all, on this journey. Okay.
And if it
What
helps
else?
you, if it helps you,
Mm-hmm.
get you a therapist.
Mm-hmm.
I say that because I have my own history of mental health that I've had to deal with, but I also am a licensed clinical therapist.
Mm-hmm.
And I take time with clients to sit there and work through those things with them at
Yep.
their pace and give
Mm-hmm.
them the skills and the tools to be able to cope with it because it's gonna come flying back at you. It's gonna
Yeah.
come like a train sometimes can hit you.
Yes.
You got to be able
Mm-hmm.
to sit with it though, because if you don't know how to sit in your own mess,
Mm-hmm.
never gonna heal.
Mm-hmm.
And no amount of mojo
Let's
bags
talk
or
about it because
you
I
gonna
do
never.
offer life purpose coaching, right?
Mm-hmm.
But we need to understand the difference between coaching and therapy. Okay, because I want y'all to be clear. Like, if you come to me and I feel like you need some therapy, I'm gonna tell you. But sis, like, let's try to explain to them the difference because um it's a difference. So I don't want people coming to trying to get coaching thinking they finna get a therapy session because it don't work like that. Okay.
In therapy, we use different modalities, whether it's cognitive behavioral therapy, dialectical behavioral, different trauma modalities, EMDR. Um, we use mindfulness.
Yeah.
Me personally, I incorporate a lot of spiritual practices and some Eastern beliefs into
Yeah.
the healing
Let's
process.
talk.
But we talk about things from a historical perspective in your life to figure out what your triggers are. We're talking about the emotions that may have been suppressed and how
Right.
that will manifest.
Mm-hmm.
So it is a healing process, but also when
Yeah.
you look at it more from that clinical, um, educational type background, it's also about diagnosing. When you
Yeah.
go to a life
Mm-hmm.
coach, they're not there to give you a clinical diagnosis.
Yeah. I can't diagnose you.
They cannot give you diagnosis. They cannot give you medication. They can't, if you, baby, if you need FMLA paperwork,
Yeah.
your life
We
coach
can't. We
cannot
can't
fill
do
that
that.
out.
We can't do that. So I want
You
y'all. I
can't
want
bill
y'all to know.
insurance for a life coach.
You got
You,
out the pockets, right? And I know some of my coaching packages. A lot of people don't look at me like God dang, that's high, but it just is what it is. But I want y'all to understand the difference because coaching, we mainly focus on building the future, right? And sometimes it can go hand in hand, but I feel like coaching is mostly about growth, which therapy is as well. But like I said, it's different. We focus on growth and reaching goals, whether they're spiritual, or whatnot. So I feel like as a coach, I meet you where you are now. Okay, we don't have to really do that heavy stuff because that's not in my zone. But like I said, I meet you where you are now. So I mean, and then I say what I said.
that's it. I was listening.
Yeah. And as a spiritual life coach, because there's a difference. You got so many different styles of coaching, y'all. It's crazy. And I feel like it's way too many to be honest. Like you got happiness coach, regular life coach, life purpose coach, spiritual coach, drinking coach, food coach, uh, everything. But like I was saying, as a spiritual life coach, I just want to help you unlock your inner power. That's my goal, right? And a lot of times you already have it within you. You just don't know it. So
Hmm.
that's why I come in as a coach. Okay, we're
Whereas
gonna
I
help.
deal with a lot of maladaptive behaviors
Mm-hmm.
and, coping mechanisms. When you say, well, I'm having a bad day, so I'm going to go drink. Now,
Mm-hmm.
if every time you have a problem that you go into drink, especially in this lifetime, you won't be drunk, which means you probably have some very faulty relationships. You got some legal problems, and you may not be holding down a job in a good way, or you don't have a driver's license because you got
Mm-hmm.
DWIs. It's a lot of stuff happening with those
Yep.
maladaptive coping skills. Or
Yep.
you not good with managing money, impulse
Mm-hmm.
control. You not good with talking to people. You clam up, you let your trauma block things out, and so
Mm-hmm.
you just stay away from. So you close a lot of doors for yourself, or you
Oh,
self sabotage.
talk about
It's
that.
so many different things that can
Mm-hmm.
happen on a
Yep.
mental level.
Yep. And I feel like with coaching, a lot of a lot of it can focus on healing the past and like you said, trauma and mental health. Um,
Heck, I deal with suicidality in
exactly.
therapy. That's not something that a life coach is going to be
We
able to
can't do
work
that.
on.
We can't. So I just wanted to
And they're held
explain
to
the
a different
difference.
standard too.
Also,
Confidentiality is totally
now
different.
when you see certain coaches offer certain stuff, don't do that because they're not certified to be in that. No, you're not certified for that. Okay.
Even if a person is a life coach and a therapist, and I know we're off topic from Hoodoo,
Mm-hmm.
but they cannot operate as one and the same at the same
Mm-hmm.
time. They got to operate under one license or certification or the other. They can't do both at the same time
Mm-hmm.
because they're governed by different boards
Yep.
and different legal processes.
Yeah. But yeah, I just wanted to let that be clear, okay? Because I have had some inbox, questions about coaching and stuff and how it is. And I just wanted y'all to be clear on the difference. So if you feel
Hey,
like you need
sis.
therapy, get therapy. If you want to get coaching, well, I'm here to help you with your build a future, focus on your goals and stuff, you know, accountability partner, all of that. I got you. I got you. But now if you need therapy, if you in Texas, because it's a thing
Florida.
too, right? Yeah, if you're in Texas, my sis got you.
Texas or Florida. I'm licensed in both.
Texas or Florida, yes.
Um, but we're gonna switch gears and we're going
Oh
back to
Lord,
this.
we got off topic.
Yes, we're going back though, because it's something I wanted to bring up, and it's
Oh,
the petty in me.
uh-oh.
Y'all, when y'all smoke cleansing, I know y'all see the memes
Oh
and
Lord.
y'all see the jokes. They not lying to you and being funny. Open the window.
Open them,
Open the door.
open them damn windows.
Is this gonna be in there dancing around with you like it's a
I'm
party?
talking about they
You
still
gotta
gonna be
let it
like,
escape.
like, no, open the windows, y'all. You have to let it out. That's the
And
whole
you have
purpose.
to pray or chant as you are cleansing. Cleanse
Oh
clockwise,
my
not
God, because
counterclockwise. Cleanse clockwise.
I be seeing so many videos, and they just make it look like saging and stuff is so fun, relaxing.
No.
I'm taking a bath. I'm gonna sage. No windows open. You're not even using it for its purpose.
Or you being petty, like, yeah, I'm just gonna do such. No, no, baby, no, sis. I just did. Actually, I'm gonna show it to you because I strained it and everything. I did my infernal water.
Oh, let's see. Let's see. Y'all know this is the kind of stuff that excites me. Okay.
Oh, there we go.
Ooh, yes, that looks nice.
So, sis, that one is a little on the spicy side. I'm gonna test it on my own skin first because I ain't trying to have nobody have issues. But hot peppers, uh,
Mm-hmm.
horseradish, galangal
Mm-hmm.
root. Yeah, without going into too much, but
Yeah, that's spicy. Yes, it's gonna kick.
that's
It's
gonna burn away and
gonna kick
cleanse. And
ass.
yes, that one is that's the big boy.
It's gonna kick ass, baby. Stop playing.
That's the big boy.
That is funny. Y'all know how that kind of stuff excite me because I love. Y'all know my passion is spiritual baths. So
But that's
hey,
a spray. That's more like a Florida water. That's a spray. That's a
mm-hmm.
smudge spray, basically.
Oh, you just make me think I got a new spray coming out. Let me send it to you.
Ah, okay.
Let me send it, sis. I only got a picture of it, but
Yeah, we
because you
sorry.
know what,
We get excited about this kind of stuff, and then
because I
we
was
just
in
go
the
live.
car on the way to drop my daughter off. I was in the car, and me and my husband were talking about energetic vampires, and I was like,
Mm-hmm.
you know what, I need to create a spray, and guess what I came up with, and it's called Cloak, right?
Oh.
And it's an energetic vampire repellent spray. Yes. And I already wrote down my ingredients and everything, what I'm going to do to make it. But y'all, this is gonna be the truth. I'm telling you now. I kid you not. And y'all know when it comes to energetic vampires, y'all know what we're talking about, right? When
Mm-hmm.
you around people and you constantly feeling drained, feel like they sucking the life force out of you. It's energetic vampires, and we all have had one or dealt with one in our life. So hey. Um, oh, and I'm gonna do some holy water. Yeah,
Okay.
holy water. I'm
We
trying
talking
to.
about holy water and everything. Hell, I got a jar of storm water behind me.
Mm-hmm.
I
Stop
politely
playing.
put that jar out there, ma'am. When I needs to do a good
Yeah.
cleanse, I'm gonna add a
Then it's in
little
that
bit of
blue
this to that
jar.
bath
Yes,
water.
stop playing.
Baby, now the only thing is when you use storm water,
Mm,
you need to make sure you are trying to cleanse and get rid of some stuff because you
yeah.
don't want to wash away some good stuff. So don't mix that in with no prosperity bath because then you washing away what you
No.
putting in.
And let me tell you something too. When you're doing work, you can't have bandage work over here and love work beside. Stop doing that. Stop playing with me. Y'all know better. Okay?
You got the
Stop playing with
powders commingling with each other and don't know which ones.
me. Right. Like, stop playing with me. Because
But you don't
nowadays,
like me. What's happening? Cause when you put it next to
exactly. Stop. Like, no.
that. Since we're going to wrap up soon, because I feel myself about to dive into the petty, and I don't think
Oh
they're
yeah,
ready
we're
for that
gonna have
side of
to
me.
wrap it up, y'all. Cause how long we been on here, sis?
Oh, I don't know. I don't have a clock rolling on here.
Oh God, we probably been on here a long time.
It's
But I was
okay.
trying to find my what's it called? Find my spray I'm finna make. But yeah.
That's
So
okay.
let's
We
do it.
can do a follow up. You know, a
Yeah,
little snippet clip it. They can catch it on a short or something
yeah. But anyway, sis, when you make sure you put your link to your page.
in the
I'm gonna
comments. Yes.
send you mine.
Okay.
Okay. But yeah, any closing words?
Yes.
Because we just gonna wrap it up.
No, we're gonna wrap it up. The only thing that I can say truly on the path of hoodoo or
Mhm.
any path, because I myself am I was I was looking at something the other day and it resonated with me. I'm an eclectic pagan.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I am a hoodoo practitioner, but also because of other beliefs and things that are speaking to me and that I've been called into.
Mm-hmm.
I work with different deities and I
Right.
do a lot of ancestor work. Sometimes other people's ancestors and things like to come tap in with me, and that I'm gonna need y'all to open up to your people. But you
Mm,
know,
yeah, y'all do.
I do a lot of different things. Herbs speak to me. Everybody is not into herbs, okay? They
Mm-hmm.
might do other workings, but I love herbs. I love plants.
Mm-hmm.
I get excited in crystal shops. I go outside and nature just makes me happy. So,
Yeah.
whatever it is that you're doing, make sure that it truly resonates with you.
You
And
know what,
if
sis?
it resonates with you, do not be scared to research it. Don't just take what somebody else says at face value and run with it and say that it's the be all that ends all because it's not.
Mm-hmm.
There's so much more. And
Yeah.
once you know it for yourself, like Sis said, you can't go back, you can't unlearn it, you can't unsee it. Once you know better, do better.
Yeah. And also, sis, I was thinking the other day, I feel like I'm evolving from Madam C, right? I feel like I am becoming mama. And let me tell you why, sis. Because my clients, my new clients, I just feel like they my babies. I don't know why it's so weird. Like I just like these are my babies. It's just different this time around. I feel like maybe I'm evolving and I'm becoming mama. See,
I was
I
gonna say
don't
instead of
know,
madam,
but
it's mama.
we're gonna have to see because I just feel like it's just different this time around. Cause y'all they're my babies. They just I don't know. I have a motherly love this season because I don't know how long it's gonna last. Y'all, don't forget, I'm a Gemini moon, so I can switch it up. So no, don't, and just like a mother, don't piss me off because I will let y'all know.
I'm not about
But
to play with her.
it's all with love, though. It's all with love, and I just really been feeling like that towards my clients because y'all my babies, right? But I do want to say this. Remember, hoodoo is your heritage, is your birthright, is your healing, is remembering who you are. What else? Don't fear
Just
your roots.
remember, just remember
Don't
who
fear
came
your
before
roots.
you.
Yep. Don't fear them. Embrace them because your healing is magic. Your
Mhm.
Your healing is sacred, and your connection to spirit is sacred as well. So if you feeling drawn to this path, the door is open. You know, So hey,
And remember, we
yeah,
came through with hoodoo because of a
exactly.
lack of resources after slavery.
Mhm.
And that meant we had to heal ourselves as a people. Hence the term root worker. And roots ain't just about working tricks, love spells, hexes, and all of that sensationalized TV
Mhm.
stuff. It's about community. It's about medicine. It's about
Yeah,
survival.
yeah.
So
And let me
again,
tell you something.
embrace it.
And you do have people who do hexes and stuff, but just like with every practice, with every religion, is you got the good and the bad, right? You can't have one without the other. And in
Mm-hmm.
hoodoo, we often say one cannot heal, one cannot hex, and one cannot hex, one cannot heal, baby. Go hand in hand.
Mm-hmm.
So,
But now, don't be out here
uh,
hexing just because somebody got on your nerves and you don't like the sound of their voice or the way that they chew.
and don't be
That
out
is
here
going to
hexing
rebound.
because you going back and forth with somebody. That's still not a reason to hex somebody.
Mm.
Okay?
That comes with you, your autonomy, and the
Mm-hmm.
ability to set boundaries, healthy
Mm-hmm.
boundaries, and not be the toxic individual. So if you say you don't want to deal with somebody, you're the only person that can determine if you're going to stop dealing with them. That
Exactly.
means don't answer the phone. That means don't answer the text message. That means block them. That means if
Mhm.
they resurface through a burner page, guess what? That page get blocked too.
Exactly.
And if they keep on, it's not even so much hexing. It's called boundary work. So don't be like, well, I'm gonna
Yes.
hex you. No, it's boundary work because you
Exactly.
can set that energetic boundary to where they
Mm-hmm.
can't even come talk to you.
Mm-hmm. And also, don't forget there's always cutting of the cord. Always cut that
Mm-hmm.
if we dealing with relationship balance and you're trying to just feel like you done did everything and it still ain't whatever. You can cut the cord. Remember when I said cutting the cord, make sure you cleanse yourself afterwards. Because a lot of times people cutting the cords, they're not cleansing themselves, and the joker's still coming back. Oh Lord. Yeah, we finna go, y'all. I love y'all. You know, um, we will be back next Sunday with episode 3. We were supposed to come this Sunday, but we had some stuff going on. But we'll be back next Sunday with episode 3. And remember, your healing is sacred. Peace.